When I started my career back in early 1980, New Jersey had one nesting pair of bald eagles, one nesting pair. But we cobbled together the resources and the staff and the volunteers and our NGO partnerships to work hard on bald eagles. And I can tell you today, we have 190 nesting pairs of bald eagles in the state of New Jersey today. What an incredible success story, and it shows what you can do when you commit resources to something. And that's what this Blue Ribbon panel on sustaining America's wildlife diversity is going to be all about.
The real problem is the money wasn't enough. You don't have enough money inside of the traditional managed species, trophy species and others, to support all of the things that the agencies are being asked to do now, particularly as it relates to a whole range of species, some of whom are potentially threatened or endangered, some of whom could be moving in that direction, and some of whom just happen to be species that people like, that they expect the Game and Fish Agency to deal with. So the issue really became fairly quickly, how do you move away from an expectation that we would fund what the Fish and Wildlife agencies have always done, to how do we focus it? And so it became focused on this question of kind of the non-game species, not just those that are threatened and endangered, but those that are, there's a general expectation on the part of the public that somebody's going to look after them.
What the governor spoke to was the really severe hardship, or almost like a crisis mode financially, that many of our state agencies face to continue to be able to do the work that they do and that they've done so well. A lot of this is impacted because they're being asked to do more and more than what they traditionally were charged with, just managing like important things for game species and fish, like for fish hatcheries, and managing for white-tailed deer and wild turkey, all these things. We're also caring as a country about all critters, and the listing of threatened and endangered species animals, and the costly burden of this being, given to our state agencies to deal with and to manage. It's not without a great deal of expense.
There are 1,600 some species that are out there listed. If we can get them off of the list, it's good for everybody. It's good for wildlife, it's good for the economy, it's good for the people that want to do something on that land, whether you want to build a house in the right location. It's going to be a great thing to happen. So we need to get more species off the list and stop it from happening.
When we start talking about the need, no one on either side is pushing back. When we start talking about why it makes sense to do collaborative, proactive, voluntary measures on the front end at the state level, rather than having expensive emergency room recovery actions on the back end that are much more restrictive and much more costly, folks get it.
The way we envision it is a permanent authorization into an existing account in the trust fund that's there, and we are envisioning asking for existing royalties, 50% of it from offshore royalties and 50% from onshore royalties, to fund this amount every single year. It would be delegated back out to the states, or apportioned back out to the states, in the same manner that the existing excise tax dollars that the governor and John Morris talked about on fishing equipment and on firearms and ammunition. So the states are familiar with it. And then the states would be the ones that would actually be able to direct it to those species of needs and those areas of concern. So it would be permanent authorization off of existing royalties. Yes, it would take standalone legislation to do that.
As a part of the state wildlife grant program, which is going on right now, Congress mandated that every state wildlife agency develop a wildlife action plan. And that information is all available on every state. It identifies all of the species that are at risk, that could be heading for federal listing, that, if we don't do something about it, they're going to be in trouble. And, that represents probably about 2/3 of what it would take to implement all of those action plans across the entire country.